Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Why is my family mean to me? Or should I say, why is uh, family mean to anyone, especially when it comes to children? Uncertain circumstances that would require one to give up temporary or full guardianship for a while to get back on track. Uh, I I am Richard Jean,
I'm Mary.
and tonight we will be talking to you about uh, that Mary is going through with her family, what we're trying to do to make it better and to keep fighting for her child, amongst other things. All right, want to give her an intro?
Well, my family's always been mean to me, and they've always had this angry grudge against me and this portrayal of how I'm such a bad person and how I've done so much wrong in my life. And over the last 5, 6 years since I've had my daughter, I've been clean, I've been sober, I've straightened out, I've done everything that's been required of me by the states and by the law. I've done everything that's required of me by my family, and nothing makes a difference.
Now, with that last statement of required by your family, exactly what was it that they were requiring you to do, if at all, really anything? Because from my personal understanding of it and watching you live through it is that they never really asked you for anything other than to like ask you a simple question such as basically, do you have money this one week, which is primarily always after bill day. And when you say no, the following week I should, or something of the likes, and they go and ask, still ask, like saying, well, your daughter needs this, even
And then
though
I try and get it for her, and then they get mad because it's not the most expensive product on the market that they want. And I'm sorry, but I can't afford the most expensive products on the market. There's other things that you can buy that are so much cheaper and so much easier to and all the stuff that's expensive. It's all boils down to what's best for my daughter. And my family, for some reason, thinks that the best thing for my child is her staying away from me and for her to have expensive things and money and riches and the fancy lifestyle. But it's not. She needs to understand how hard life can be and how bad schooling can be and how bad people can be without having to be pushed around and belittled and be made fun of the way I was in life. Comments?
um well, see, it's not so much of showing her the hardship, because that could be a borderline. Um,
It's
that's
more of
no.
teaching her.
Let me finish, please. You asked me.
Okay.
Let me finish. But it's more or less what you're wanting to show her is to not be the typical like self-indulged person that a lot of people want tends to want to be, where it's basically mine, what's mine is mine, and if you're broke or anything, fun of you and pick on you, stuff like that. Whereas what you're saying is like you want her to show her that in order to get to this spot, you need to understand how to be grateful for everything that comes in your life and everyone that comes in your life, and know who's actually true to you as a person who you
Exactly.
want to be in your life, because you could be on either side still and not know that there are bad people, and you go down and start making some of the most dumbest mistakes ever, and then you kind of wish at 30, 40, 50 years old that you never did certain things or truly understood certain concepts that ultimately what we're what we've come to know, hopefully we could be able to share with the youth.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of things we want to share with our children, but there's a lot of things that parents hide from their kids because they're embarrassed about it, or they think that it won't give them the wisdom and the understanding that they need for this world. But things that my well, my parents did with me is they showed me how hard things can be if you don't understand the meaning of things and certain ways of doing things. There's always another way to get something as long as you work towards it. And it doesn't always happen right away when you want it to happen. It takes time. Everything takes time. And patience is a very big thing in this world that a lot of people just don't have anymore. People don't have patience for children anymore. They don't have the understanding for children that may have special needs or that may be slower in school, or they may need like extra attention after school to understand how to do the homework and understand how to do mathematical problems or
All right,
words or language.
just a second. We're having technical difficulties. Is lagging pretty badly. I do apologize, everyone. Hopefully, I can get this fixed. Let's see. Pretty badly. Let me close out some of these because that might be a problem. I just wanted to reshare on social media. You know. Um. Sure. Let me close this too. Hopefully distorted, but it looks like it's going to be kind of distorted. All right. Well, yeah, but the one thing that I would like to try to empathize a little bit more is why they feel the need to want to do so. And again, technical difficulties. Heck of an issue trying to keep the live stream uh, afloat. Even though it shows we are still there, I'm guessing we still have. I'm guessing we still have sound. Um, okay, well, let's go with the cameraman. Let's see what this does. Opening cameraman, connecting to Google. Do apologize, guys. I'm fresh on the Chrome OS system. Trying to get a better feedback. So now we're having a little technical difficulties. All right, so it's opening up cameraman. Now let's see what is this gonna do. As guests join, hide their audio and video. Okay, no. Broadcast the large video that I see to my audience and hide the other video feeds. I don't think so. New guests in my large suite. No, that's not what I want. Okay, so well, here we are. It may or may not go out. So let's just continue. It'll be just like a regular podcast. I might continue just making podcasts for the moment, unless we can figure something out in the future. But as we were saying was is I wanted to try to understand what try to empathize why they feel the need to do so, even though you've clearly tried to uh, prove to them that you don't do prescription pills, you don't drink alcohol no more, you don't do your kind of reckless activity to put your daughter at harm. And pretty much all you're asking for is just reintegrate yourself into her life so that way there's a chance for her to come back to living with you when you are in a better position.
And I would love to be able to do that, but my family is very determined to keep her and very determined to hold her from me the same way that they, did my parents, holding us kids back from them, not letting us know what exactly is going on until we're teenagers, and it's way too late to even save a relationship between me and the parents, way too late to even understand the truth behind everything. We just go by what's been said and what's been told to us. And there is no in the family. There is no understanding the truth of the family. It's just what people say and what people do. And there's no way to changing anything right now because they're stuck in their ways.
That brings up another thing. Is like I don't know how many people out there who are going to be watching this, but and we are lagging. Technical difficulties are a why. Can we continue? I want to continue, but we're still broadcasting, which makes no sense. Okay, anyways, but back to the whole us uh, about people being stuck in their ways, which seems like certain. Once you hit a certain age, it seems like you start a this has to be it, and that's all there is. If you don't like it, well, that's my world, and who cares what you think? Because apparently you're invalid of a person. Which, to be honest, that's a really cynical view if you look at it. If you really want to like get down to it, that would seem more like they would. That should be a person that needs to be talked to realize that you don't have to be selfish. You don't have to be into yourself. You don't have to create yourself as so-called little project to feel like you're the most important thing. Because in reality, you're not the most important thing. Because if you think about it, we're just like grains of sand in this universe, in this galaxy. Like we're basically just like sand.
And we are.
People want to how some people want to be for
From ash we came and ash will return.
that's just a statement. But was that a statement? I don't know. It's something that I think Archer tries stating about referencing or something. But yeah, we're no different. Yeah, sure, we can have our own differences and opinions, this and other thing. But for the most part, and more compassionately, we should hold each other accountable for like a majority. Uh, Dang, I just lost my train of thought. What was I was trying to say about crap? Don't you just love it when you end up having those moments?
Yes. Morality is a big issue, and families shouldn't hold grudges against parents' children. They should let everything go and just let it be. Things happen, the past happened. We can better ourselves to be different than our parents, and we can better ourselves to be different than the families that
The cycles
have
we've
raised
been in,
us.
the cycles that we've been in. It's like because it's just the same thing over and over again. If anybody truly look back since like the mid to late 1800s till now, it's been the same thing over and over again, and it just makes no sense, none whatsoever. All we do is we wake up, we go to work, we come home, we're miserable as hell. Oh, you want to take care of your kid? Well, you're probably really dog tired. Now, mind you, this is only the United States culture and work ethics and stuff like that. There are other areas in this world, such as Denmark, Sweden, a lot of the Nordic areas, amazing work life, amazing financial stability, amazing creativity. They're able to do a lot more and live a more happier. However, I'm pretty sure there's still confusion as to here on this planet, but for the most part, it's a good start to go towards find happiness, and then from there, new inventions will come out, new ideas will come out, and ultimately we'd be hopefully in a few years, because it's going to take a long time, in a couple generations we can make a better place.
Hopefully, I mean, it just all depends on the cycle that we repeat. If we decide to change and teach our children, our children's children, the future generations, the way of change and how to accept change and how to better the world, then yeah, our world could change. But right now, with everything the way it is, it's going to take generation after generation after generations before any change will happen because so many people are stuck in their ways. Wants change because people are afraid of change.
True, everybody's really afraid of something, which is mainly change. Like everybody, you ask them, will you change for the better? And they either get defensive or very depressed or something in the negative field of emotions that they would want to cut themselves away from. And I'm still fighting to get out of it. It's a horrible drug because craving it because it's had it for so long. Like all these kids who are like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, all the way up, being depressed as can be. And they go and try to kill themselves, and they're still, if they don't kill themselves, they're still depressed. They keep going through more and more depressed days, and nothing good ever happens. And they can't see no light at all. They just cannot see it.
Because our younger generation wants to support the change, but the older generation want to hold us down and keep us in a route, in a routine. And
Keep
we
them.
don't want the routine. I know how the children of the generation feel where they're out of place, they're misunderstood, they don't know what's going on. They're depressed and miserable, and they would rather die by their own hand than by somebody else's because they don't know what's going to happen in this world. And honest to God, better things are always to come, but you have to put your foot down and say enough is enough. I have to change for myself, and I have to change my future and to change my family's future and my children's future. Because if you don't put your foot down and say enough is enough, you're always going to keep going through the same depression cycle, and for you because you're always going to think that way.
And okay, a perfect example is one of our friends who, not gonna name names, but a roundabout way, she is a definition of like a self-enabler with the depression. She gets herself in such a raging sadness and depression and paranoia that she feeds on it by when the right reaction to the right people, happiness, which is self-enabling it. And that's the stuff that, like, we need to help the children not get into, because ultimately that leads to more people wanting to kill each other, hurting each other, put other people, like good people, in jail, stealing from each other. Like you let them enable themselves to stay depressed and keep in that depressed mode and get the reaction from others. That's not going to be beneficial for anybody else but one person. A lot of people are going to hate that. They're going to say, well, it's perfectly fine to be depressed. It is fine to be depressed, but if you're depressed from the time you were like, the time you could pretty much have sex until now, but you say, oh, I've been better, but not completely depression free. Like if you do say so, then you're ultimately just you're denying. You're in a very bad denial phase that ultimately you off of other people and their own emotions because you can't get the emotion that you want on your own.
And there's also some people that are out in the world that are just lonely and they want attention, so they'll do anything to have that attention. They'll intentionally make false reports and false phone calls, and they'll intentionally be a hypochondriac to the doctors so that they can get the attention and the happiness that they want, but being depressed inside because they don't know how to fill it. They don't know how to accept change.
Now, there's nothing in school that like teaches like saying, "Oh, if you're depressed, well, let's try these exercises." All right. If you don't feel any different afterwards, if you don't even feel a half percent better, then we'll find something else. Plan is something else. Maybe we might be able to go through a bunch of different things that these workplaces might need that might intrigue you, such as some kind of engineering for future kind of transportation or future kind of self-reliant energy source that doesn't require resources to be used or anything like that. But because of the cycles, we have to go through the same thing over and over again to get to. No, they don't explain where we're trying to get to. Adulthood is where we're trying to get to, but once we get there, we still don't know what to do because all we know is like the Pythagorean theorem, and we know how to probably make meth in chemistry, or we know how to spell fucking excuse my language, 20 some different letter word or something. Yeah, some of that might be beneficial, but is there a class that teaches you to go talk to a random person that comes to the school to try to like show what you're made of and what you're able to do, so that way they'll be like, oh, okay, you seem competent enough, you seem decent enough, let's hire you in for work. There's none of that. There's no like, once you do earn money, if you do when you have to do taxes, there's no one that says, okay, well, this is how you do them or anything. It's almost irrelevant stuff that should be taught secondary, plain and simple, because until you understand the basics of how to go through and be creative and create something new and or make something better that's already out there or something, everybody's just going to go through life thinking it's a party, party, party when you're young. If you're lucky enough to go to college, party, party, and so-called really socialize, and then you get done with that and you're probably at McDonald's with a degree and almost $100,000 in debt, which makes no sense. It really doesn't if we're looking for that change.
As you said, I mean, the school system only teaches you certain things and they don't teach you real life experiences because your parents are supposed to teach you the real life experiences. That's what the school expects. And they don't allow people just to walk into any school no more. Everything's security guard this and metal detector this and x-ray scanners this and checking backpacks and everything else because of all the crime that's been going on in the school system.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you send your kid to school, it's not going to be a safe place for him because of all the crap that goes on these days.
What's his name? The singer Marilyn Manson. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
He said it right. With all the school shootings, all the terrorism, all this and the other thing, if we didn't have any of that before, and they decided to propagate that, sooner or later there will be martyrs that will come out and make those things a reality, which and ultimately you consider a sleeper drone within this more or less the secret intelligences like the CIA, the FBI, and stuff, because ultimately they have a budget in the media, they have the budget in the news and all that, which you kind of have to question why they have that like that. So that's what ended up causing all these extra school things, and then all these parents are like, oh my god, we got to protect the kids, protect the kids.
Yeah, you got to protect the kids, but it doesn't mean putting all this security stuff into enforcement because then the kids are going to think, oh, well, I'm going to be slick and I'm going to, sneak it in and they're never going to know about it. And then they do. And then everybody freaks out and it goes worldwide at any school that this happens at. And they think that, we're going to have sympathy for the people that put this stuff in place, but we don't because better. We should know how to teach the discipline to our own children, and parents, any parent, should always, 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 always talk to their children about everything that's going on in their lives and to make sure that the children understand what's going on. Make sure that they know that nowhere, a private school or a public school, there's always going to be violence, there's always going to be crime, but they can try to do their best to stay away from it and to better themselves and to think better of everything that's going on and to help the other students that are depressed and they're having those thoughts of taking those things into the school and try to be like a counselor to them to help the other children do things.
Example of the whole protecting the children thing is like, picture this. Picture that you go and you know there's a lot of issues out in the world, a lot of issues. So you go and you put every single piece of protection on possible everything, protecting you from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. You do so. Now if you picture putting on all that, including the fact that you have multiple clothes on, you have pretty much a bubble on, you have even what is it, like a bulletproof vest or whatnot. You have all that on, and then you attempt to leave your house. You're not going to be able to, due to the fact that you have all this stuff on, and you really can't bend, you can't move, you're stuck there because you have all this protection on. You're being protected because you think all this stuff is going to happen right this moment. It's going to happen right this moment.
Anything's going to happen.
Yeah, which in reality, we didn't, if we took out a lot of that stuff and really decided to put more time and effort as a community to go and show the kids what can't be done, what should be done, what shouldn't be done, morals and everything, we might be able to do something.
But it's
But due to the fact that we need to have answers from someone else other than our own intuition, speaks highly of the fact that down so much as a species.
and it's not only just up to the teachers in the school system, it's up to the parents. It's up to the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles and the cousins. It's up to everybody in their families to be able to teach these things. It's not just the school system because the school system, they only do what the parents want, and the parents, they only do what the teachers want. So either way, it's always going to be up to the parents and in their in their court, in their ballroom.
Yeah, you took on the responsibility of having sex and allowing yourself to become a parent. So, unfortunately, or fortunate, depending on your situation, you got to take the responsibility of stepping up to the plate and doing.
Do
Don't
the
re-
research.
don't rely on other people to tell you what to do or say. Speak to your community and other parents in your community and see what y'all can do for it to make sure that everyone is okay, taken care of, and not wanting to basically kill each other over a monetary gain or fame or some other dumb gain. Because in the end, when you die, what do you want to be known for?
Good heartedness, compassion.
You don't even know it. Do you truly understand what that means? Not
Nobody
really.
does.
Not really. But the one thing that we can take away from the Bible, even if you're not a believer of it, because to be honest, all of it I find to be a lot of crap and over exaggerated, but there are some stuff that I believe should be taken more serious than uh, whether or not because another woman ends up laying with another man, she should be stoned to death. No, maybe she should respect monogamy a lot more and just be ousted from potentially mating with anyone else if they want monogamy. But if they want polyamorous, just speak to each other or to the group of people. It's not that hard. Because if one person wants to have multiple partners and the other one wants only one, then you're not meant for each other. You could be friends, but you're not meant for each other.
Well, yeah.
But it doesn't hurt for everybody to pick and choose from almost any religion of good moral guidance to one another as humans and to this planet. Because in reality, when we get down to it, we're going to end up dying, like I'm saying. And we die. What did we leave off? What did your parents leave off to you? Bunch of crap. What do you want to leave off to your children? If you don't have children, do you really want to leave this planet off even worse for other people's children? If you do, I'd advise you to come message me. I'll talk to you and try to understand your side of it, and maybe we can try to compromise and figure out a middle ground for people like you with your kind of mindset. But as of this moment, there's really no excuse to be as greedy as our species have been.
Well, yeah. We don't have to be greedy. There's enough for everybody. This world's a big world.
Plenty abundant. Not to mention, we're kind of plateauing now on our birth rates and all that. So we're kind of staying at a steady. It's been a few years, so I'm not sure how many people we're at now, but I think we're plateauing now at like around maybe 8 billion or something like that, which almost speaks pretty loud words. Which, in all honesty, I kind of think it's consciously telling us that we need to slow down and we need to figure something different out to do. But yet, if we don't fight past this lethargic feeling that we all have of how can we do anything, this is a start right here of me and her. We're making these videos to pour our hearts and souls out, and we're looking for other people to pour their hearts and souls out and try to connect with other people all around the world to try to do something different, make something happen peacefully. Because the powers to be, they have to have a reason to kill you. They have to have a reason to take you out of the picture. And if you're peacefully showing the whole world that there's another way, if one of us gets taken out, we all could pretty much just grow even bigger than before. You won't be taken out completely, because the ideal will forever live on.
God, I can't stop yawning.
And with that, that means chicken is done. All right. This has been Rick.
And this is Mary.
And thank you for watching. If you liked our video, please subscribe. Actually, if you didn't like our video, don't subscribe. Hit the dislike button. I don't care. I like to see different numbers. I like to see bars. I like analytics. So please help an analytical brother out. And that was her burping.
Sorry.
But again, this was Richard. You like the video, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. We're going to be doing these every night. And it's not just going to be about this subject. It might just be goof off nights and goof off days or whatever. We plan on bringing more content. Thank you for watching once again. Peace, love, harmony, and I hope you have some really good chicken if you can eat chicken.
Keep calm and carry on.